So very, very rarely we can use the extraction road, but it is exceptional. We start with an integral dissection. That means that we are going to start with the bladder neck approach and go from the bladder neck to the apical dissection. Of course, its objective of this surgery is to perform a complete neurovascular bundle preservation to try to save quality. Like I said before, as much as possible, we try to perform bladder neck, that I said already. And we use a simple running anastomosis between bladder neck and urethra, and we don't use the double stitching technique that Walter described, but it is a different option. And what you are going to observe like a difference, we do not use thermal dissections, we do not use coagulation, just because we consider that perhaps if we can avoid a thermic effect during dissection in contact with the neurovascular bundles, perhaps it will be more easy to save the functional aspect. But as you know, it's a debate, and so we used to use a very selective dissection of mini clips to try to avoid coagulation. So this movie is going to describe very simple operative equipment. 30 degrees triangular position just because we use transperitoneal rod. The port placement is exactly similar, but I need to say that we use the both robotic arm in the left side because we started with this approach in laparoscopy, and it was just a change from laparoscopy to the robot. And we have one assistant which is sit on the right side of the patient, and which is checking that we have no problem with the robot and moving two laparoscopic tools for the assistance. So I said before that, of course, we have divided the entire attachment of the bladder. We have developed a radius space, and I said that we try to find as much as possible the lateral limits of the fixation of bladder neck in the prostate. And as we said, it's never on the middle line that you have to find it. It's probably in the lateral space that you are going to find the natural septum, which is between bladder neck and prostate. As you know, you can never be sure of the aspect of this time, because sometimes you have very many veins running and crossing the limit of bladder neck, and sometimes you have this step which is bleeding, and sometimes you are lucky and it can be a very comfortable dissection without any bleeding. In this case, it was a normal situation that you are going to see a white aspect. It's a prostatic base. It's a lateral limit of the bladder neck on the left side, and progressively I developed the space to find the limit between bladder neck and prostate. And if you go more and more deeply, you are going to find the limit of seminal vesicles on each side of the bladder. So of course at this time we can use coagulation because we are very far to the contact of the neurovascular bundles, and you discover progressively this very classical aspect, which is the tube of the urethra, which is here. So we are going to develop now the right aspect of this dissection. You have the prostatic base in white in front of you, and what you discover on the middle line, it is the tube of the urethra, which is here. And like I described in my previous movie, it's not the same case, it's another approach. And it's possible to push away with the scissor and to ask to the assistant to develop the space between posterior limit of the urethra, and on the same way, I achieve this step of the section in pushing the bipolar sperm behind the urethra. We remove the catheter, and so the urethra becomes very thin and very easy to divide. And so bladder neck is here. So it's not a bladder neck preservation, I say it's a urethra preservation, and you can check that you are very far from the trigger.
The next time will be to divide the posterior fixation of the bladder neck, and at this time, as you know, it's very important to find the good space, because if you are in a wrong dissection, you can enter the prostate and develop your dissection in the plane of adenomectomy. So every time, it's mandatory to find these very smooth structures, which is on the water side, which is called vesicoprostatic muscle. It's like muscle, it's an evidence. You have to divide it, and behind this limit of the vesicoprostatic muscle, you will find the both different vas and the seminal vesicles. At this time, you can decide, and regarding, depending of your use and of the oncological situation of the patient, you can decide to spare or to dissect completely the seminal vesicles. In this case, I decided to preserve the tip of the seminal vesicle just because, as you know, it is considered that if you can spare the tip of seminal vesicle, probably you will limit the traction of the neurovascular bundles, and it will be a better situation for the immediate recovery of the erection. So here you have a lateral dissection between the bundle and the seminal vesicle. You have on the middle line space between the both seminal vesicle. We divide the seminal vesicle, and we catch with the fossa the proximal part of seminal vesicle to give you a good exposure of the other side. So we approach now the left side. It's the vas. As you know, you have already a different pedicle, and you have to deal with this pedicle with a clip or with a coagulation. And we divide the vas. And now, because we are going to approach the contact with bundle, we used to use this small size of metallic clips to control the vascular pedicles surrounding the seminal vesicles. So we are passing behind the limit of seminal vesicle, and now we are going to pass between the lateral limit of the seminal vesicle and the bundle. So it's a contact with the lateral bundle, and we develop a space to be sure of a complete lateral dissection between the bundle and the seminal vesicle. And at the time when you have achieved lateral approach, you can divide on the middle line, you can divide the middle part of seminal vesicle, and we use to give some coagulation in the section of seminal vesicle to limit the bleeding, and then we use the fossa to mobilize the both seminal vesicle section. The next step will be to divide the posterior limit of the prostate, and means that we have to approach the nobile fascia. And here, Walter described very nicely, it's mandatory to divide the nobile fascia to find the fat surrounding the rectum, because we consider that at the middle line, it's not useful to try to preserve the nobile fascia in contact with the prostate, because we have a very, very little few nerves surrounding the prostate on the posterior and middle line. That means that it's better to divide the nobile fascia and to push your dissection in this very easy space, which is the space of the pre-erectile fat. At this time now, we are going to approach the lateral and posterior dissection of the prostate, and this time is very important, of course, because it is the time of neurovascular bundle dissection. And depending on this kind of dissection that you are going to perform will be the result regarding potency. So at this time, if you enlarge your dissection, you will divide the bundles, and so you cannot reach any erection. And if you want to preserve, you have to find the good space in the contact with the prostatic fascia surrounding the prostate.